References to God and religion pervaded the Capitol.
Glory be to God!
Separate our church and state! Separate our church and state!
We began to see that there was going to be so much polarization on the particular issue of the, quote, marriage amendment, that we thought we can do better. Minnesota can do better than that. Let's find a way to just listen to each other respectfully.
This project began at the Minnesota Council of Churches because it comes out of who we are. We're a product of the ecumenical movement, and for our entire history, we have been about bringing people together across differences.
We believe that the common good is an expression of community, that community is a gift of God, and an essential pillar of community life is our ability to talk with each other.
Someone had asked me if gay people should get married, I would have said no.
The world is changing. Gay and lesbian people want to get married.
They read the book King and King in class about a prince who marries another prince and lives happily ever after. When parents objected,
our concern was that, as in other places, this decision would be a decision that would happen as a result of TV commercials on both sides. That's not the kind of conversation that's really healthy for a community. We have to understand each other.
So we invite people into the room, and they are seated at round tables with no more than 8 people. The first thing these people do, who are strangers to each other or don't know each other well, is begin to eat a meal together and pass the food to each other and begin building some human connection.
Well, don't you bring sort of a different approach? And
Then when we actually begin the conversation, it's timed questions. So everyone gets 2 minutes or 90 seconds to say their answer, and we go around in a circle. So people have a chance to talk for 90 seconds or 2 minutes without anyone interrupting, and everyone else at the table has a chance to listen to what they're saying.
Maybe through this process, we don't feel so threatened anymore. We can talk about lots of different issues.
So we do 3 rounds of these kind of timed questions, and then we open it up and let people ask questions from each other. And this is when everyone gets nervous, the facilitators in training, people who hear about it. Oh, aren't people just going to start attacking each other then? But they don't.
Can you say more about what you think the Constitution ought to be doing? Or?
You talk about truth. How do we, what is the truth?
You introduced just a new level of thinking for me around it, and I really appreciated that.
We're not out there asking anyone to take any kind of position on this. We're inviting people to come with the deeply held values that they have that bring them to their decision, and to simply share with each other in a fairly constructed conversation.
The design is very, very intentional, and it takes a long time, and it's somewhat constraining. People think, oh, I can't just fit everything I want to say into 2 minutes. But the design is specifically to make it safe to have a variety of opinions at the table.
really life-changing.
At first we thought we must have people on the pro-amendment side and the anti-amendment side for these to be valuable. But we find out that they're extremely valuable to the people that are there because of the connection that they're making, the human connection to somebody who's been on a different journey.
One of the things that we commented about, even though we're all of a similar opinion, is that we represent different ages and different backgrounds, and how we all came to how we think is pretty encouraging.
The first thing people are doing is becoming confident we can do this. They're becoming confident that we can sit across the table from somebody who might have a different opinion or has been on a different journey or has come to a different conclusion and not fight. And it's countercultural. It's not what our culture is teaching us right now when what we see in the media and what we hear is people attacking each other and calling each other names and saying you're stupid and that your viewpoint has no validity.
We think this isn't a short-term project, that building community and building the capacity for us to be community in the long haul means that this particular exercise is something that will help us maintain our empathy with one another, have a skill set that we can use on other issues in the future, and simply helps us know who our neighbors are.
You give people the space you make it safe, you give them the design so that there isn't the attack going on and people don't feel shamed or put down or attacked for their opinion, it really can happen and people can communicate in this way. So it's really encouraging and it's wonderful.